One of the ways to improve cognitive function is to make sure that there's appropriate amounts of lymphatic clearance. The brain has its own lymphatic system. This lymphatic clearance happens during sleep. One way to enhance it is to have the feet slightly elevated, 10 to 15 degrees. I put a pillow under my ankles when I sleep at night. Feet elevated naps of about 10 to 15 degrees are very useful. It increases the lymphatic clearance. Now, in terms of exercise during the day increases the rates of lymphatic clearance at night. The direct effects of exercise on brain function and health actually come from stimulation of the skeleton and load-bearing exercise. And this is something that I think is underappreciated. When we do cardiovascular work, again, you support blood flow, lymphatic clearance, but osteocalcin is made by the bones. Wow, a hormone that's made by bones that's released into the bloodstream and then goes to the brain and improves brain function. And how does this work? Well, when the skeleton is load-bearing, then osteocalcin is released. Say, how does the brain know that the body is being used? The body knows that the brain, knows that the body is being used for load-bearing work because osteocalcin is that signal. So this can be achieved a number of different ways. I actually think body weight exercises can be quite good. In basic form, people doing push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, dips, jump squats, basic load-bearing behaviors. It's actually well established that cognitive function in aging can be assessed indirectly by grip strength. Now, why would that be? You have lower motor neurons, which are neurons in your spinal cord that control contraction of the muscles by releasing neurotransmitter onto those muscles. But you have upper motor neurons, which control deliberate motor action. And grip strength is something that really involves those upper motor neurons. And you actually can do this as a test that if you're lifting weights, if you grip really strong, let's say you're even doing a unilateral movement, if you clench the opposite fist really, really hard, you'll find that you can move more weight for more repetitions because you're engaging the entire upper motor neuron to lower motor neuron system. So the idea is that people should be doing 3 to 4 days a week minimum, but when you say minimum, there isn't much more room for upper limit, but 3 to 4 days a week of some sort of load-bearing exercise. That could be weight training with machines or free weights, but it could also, again, be push-ups, pull-ups, dips, jump squats. The ability to jump and grip strength are highly correlated with cognitive function later in age. Now, will doing a bunch of load-bearing exercise make you smarter? Probably not. But when you do this 3 to 4 days a week of resistance exercise, you are providing a signal from the body to the brain to not just maintain, but to build your cognitive capacity. Nowadays, the techniques have gotten better to do sorts of these studies on humans. And just one more incentive for doing load-bearing exercise. There's a beautiful paper published this last year showing that when people do resistance exercise, a little what's called a microRNA, which are little tiny RNAs, as the name suggests, actually are released in little vesicles, little bubbles from the muscle and travel to the body fat and help facilitate burning of body fat. So resistance exercise has obviously effects on caloric burn that can indirectly support fat loss in states of, subcaloric intake, but resistance exercise itself facilitates lipolysis, the usage of body fat for energy. So many reasons to both do cardiovascular work, 150 to 180 minutes a week minimum, and to do 3 to 4 days a week of resistance exercise. And it doesn't have to be excruciatingly hard or heavy. It does have to be effort, but it pays off through this osteocalcin system.